Hey you guys, this is Psycho Power Ranger once again, and I'm here to bring you a new segment that I would like to call Patch Pondering. Ooh, look at that alliteration, baby. Anyways, so I'm going to start my patch pondering with a game called League of Legends that I would only assume most of you know since it's like super popular and technically has more players than World of Warcraft now. Anyways, so they're doing a whole bunch of changes in this game. And this patch is going to be huge. It's going to change everything. First thing I'll talk about is the changes to Sivir. Now, the W, her Ricochet, might be completely change her and make her worse, because now she can't push towers, but at the same time, it still can hit multiple targets, so her pushing shouldn't be too much worse. It just won't be as quick as it once was. But she also increased some range, so now she can maybe contend with those other ranged carries. We'll see exactly what happens, but I honestly don't think she's going to see much more play. Also, they're going to be changing the jungle. Now, this is going to be huge. It's going to make jungling even more viable. It's going to be seen everywhere, probably even more often in normal games. It's just going to be way easier, and people aren't going to feel like dissuaded from doing it. You're going to see all sorts of new different jungle styles. Champions that used to not be good junglers might become really good junglers now because they won't need to be so reliant on things like blue buff, because they'll be able to kill things without having to spam their skills multiple times, which is just intense. Like, seriously, champions like a Mumu and Rammus will be probably a whole lot better in jungle, and will have the ability to keep up with some of the other junglers if they get counter jungled. This being said, monsters respawn even more quickly now, so counter jungling will be more difficult than it used to be, and it will definitely be a better option to just leave one monster there than to clear out the whole jungle, because they'll be able to get their money back pretty quickly because of how fast they're going to start respawning. But that's just my assumption. Maybe the spawn timer's only slightly different. We'll find out. As for adding buffs to just about everything, I'm not exactly sure I like that. I was pretty happy with just having 2 buffs. I don't think that we really needed any more buffs than that. Maybe these buffs are only slightly like game changing. I doubt they'll really do anything because it's just wolves and double golem and wraiths. I would only assume that wraiths will give you some sort of health steal, the wolves will give you some sort of speed buff, and the golems will give some sort of attack buff, but that's only my opinion. I am, however, very curious about Dragon. Like, if Dragon gets a buff, that would be crazy and a huge game changer. Dragon would be kind of like in itself a little mini Baron if it gets a buff. Like, it would be kind of like a Twisted Treeline Dragon, I'd only assume. That would be amazing. If Dragon gets something, you will see very exciting plays happening, no doubt. I don't know what to say about it, then that's crazy if it does. I like that you won't have some champions who are really low on health because they can just barely get across doing the jungle without help, and now it isn't just going to be dominated by champions like Udyr and Warwick and Lee Sin, and who can just hold up their health real high, be able to just keep the game going. As for lane, this is going to be crazy. The fact that they're reducing the amount of health that potions heal and making it so minions do less damage will completely change the game. Farming might not be as important as it used to be. Another thing that's huge to note, there will probably be more people who actually choose a Doran's weapon over taking potions, depending on how much the potions actually get nerfed. Potions might end up not even being worth it. We also might be seeing more mana potions being taken over health potions. It all depends on the amount they change that by, but this is mind-boggling to me. I don't like the fact that they're reducing red buff. I felt that red buff was just where it needed to be. I mean, personally, I used characters that didn't need red buff, but I'm not feeling it, you know? I really liked where red buff was at. But they're Riot. They know what they're doing, I guess. But I can understand that since you're going to be pushing more hard in this now, that the red buff would be kind of overpowered by the fact that people are actually pushing towards the tower more often. So really, I guess it was a good decision. On the topic of the new champion, Volibear or Volibear or however it's pronounced, I haven't heard anything said out loud on a video, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm really excited about him. I love junglers. Jungling is my favorite thing to do in League of Legends, so all these changes to the jungle are super exciting. Now, as far as Volibear goes, he is definitely going to be a jungler. He has a mob fear, an attack speed increaser, a passive heal, and a knockup, coupled with movement speed. There's no way that he is not going to be a jungler. He has to be. I mean, maybe he'll be good in lane too, but he's definitely going to be able to jungle, and I'm really excited about this. Why? There's too many humanoids in League of Legends. Period. I love that they're adding more creatures, and I guess they aren't adding more. They're only adding one more, but I still like that they're putting it in there. He also looks sick, though his character model looks kind of meshed together and not so defined. I hope they change that, or maybe it's not finished yet, but I hope that they change that all in all. My final thoughts that this patch is going to be a pretty awesome one. I personally like it. My friend Eric actually said that it's probably due to esports making it more important, making it more exciting, and I totally agree with that. It's definitely going to be a more exciting thing to watch if there's more aggression. So I feel like that's probably one of the biggest reasons why they're doing it. I'm a big fan of aggression. I'm also a jungler, and this is definitely going to excel junglers. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be harder to gank, kind of, with red buff, but you never know what those other buffs are yet. They haven't even spelled those out. If there's a buff that also gives you movement speed, then that should balance the two out right there. So if there's any movement speed buffs in this from the jungle, done. Done. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you'd like me to continue to do these patch ponders, go ahead and tell me so in the comments. Boop, boop, boop. I'll be doing them on like Dungeon Defenders, League of Legends, or really any game that you want me to. Even though I don't play them, I probably used to, and I could probably still give you my insight on them. If you like this video, go ahead and give it those thumbs up. Give it that favorite. And if you like this video and all my other videos in general, go ahead and give it a subscription. Even if you didn't like it, go ahead and give it a subscription, just so that you make me happy. I care about you and my subscriptions. Subscriptions is probably right here. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, take it easy.